Good afternoon and welcome back to another Hot Jobs with us at Higher Military. Hey Amber, how are you?
Hey Lucy, I'm good.
We are
Other
here.
than just trying to stay warm and not blow away with our weather that we're having today.
You would think that Amber was in Alaska. Amber, where are you?
I'm in El Paso, Texas, where it is normally super hot and super dry. Today is the beginning of like our downward spiral to nice weather, I hope. But the wind is blowing a lot, and so all I see is a dust storm out there right
Oh
now.
my God. I've got no idea. I've never lived in an environment like that, but I do feel that we're definitely exposing my English side today by talking about the weather. Us Brits, I know that you've been in the UK before, love to talk about the weather. That is our one topic of conversation. And here in the US, we have so many different weather fronts and climates that, what better way to connect with each other? Hey, Conrad. Hey, Kristen. It's really lovely to see you today. Kristen, it's your last live until you start your role. We're very excited for you. If we haven't met before, I'm Lucy Robinson. I am one of the recruiters here at Higher Military, and we are so excited for the information that we have to share with you today. If you are not familiar, if you have never joined us before, this is 30 minutes that Amber and I spend with you, sharing some highlights of the week from us, or lowlights, depending on what we want to bring to the table in terms of educating our military spouses, our transitioning service members, and our veterans. But also we bring to you our latest and greatest permanent positions, so permanent jobs and SkillBridge internship opportunities. We are here for the whole of the military community. And the one thing that we implore you to do is, just like Brad, Conrad, and Kristen have done, there's another person there, LinkedIn user, we can't see your name, unfortunately, but hi to you. Tell us that you are here. Tell us that you are watching. Share with us where you are so that we can laugh at your weather maybe, or we can bring that up. But also, what is your motivation for being here today? Is it just to listen in because you've never been here before? Are you interested in any of the permanent job application journey? Are you starting your due diligence and your research into SkillBridge or CSP if you are Army? Or do you have some burning questions that you want to ask recruiters about when it comes to the application process or the interview process or the salary negotiation process? We are here for you and we want to help you as best we can. So please do throw those questions in the comments. Hey, Scott, it's great to have you with us this afternoon. As we get going, please do not forget to check the links in the description of this event. You will find lots of helpful resources and upcoming events. And if you are not familiar, again, we have changed our website. So you will see a new job board, which is very exciting. You may have heard about the metaphorical, hypothetical even, ATS. Well, we have a new ATS that we are using right now, which gives a very different user interface for our careers page. Also, as a consequence of Olivia, who is in the background today, directing all of this and managing this whole live, we have a wonderful new website. You can go to highermilitary.us, but what you will see is it seamlessly transitions over to the TenovaLLC.com website. And Tenova LLC is our parent company. That is the reason why. Higher Military is a brand within the Tenova company. So if you weren't aware of that, if that is new information to you, that is the reason why. Hey, Larry, great to see you here as well today. And Conrad, you're transitioning from Venice. I'd stay in Venice. I'm guessing Eviano. Good for you. Lucky you. So today we have a different event for you. Even though you can only see two of us on the screen, I think Olivia is about to create her magic, and she is going to bring a third person up with us today. There he is, Chris Greenhall. You do not know him. I promise you, you do not know him, but he is very well known to us here at Higher Military. In fact, Amber was the person who introduced me to Chris probably February, March time earlier this year. And as a consequence of that brief introduction where it was like, Lucy, you need to speak to Chris. He might be interested in the internship that you're recruiting for. Chris and I had lots of in-depth conversations, and consequently, he took a SkillBridge internship or a CSP with a firm favorite of ours, Veteran Service Brands. They have multiple brands. That is the overall company. They have multiple brands within that organization. And his internship was with the wonderful TJ Pinkston out of Philadelphia, where he worked on the G-Force parking lot striping operations. So welcome, Chris. It's really lovely to see you.
Hey, thank you.
And thank you for joining us. I know it's very different being on this side of the camera to the other side of the camera.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm not sure, where do I go? So the reason that we have brought Chris with us today is because we wanted to highlight some of his achievements, but really to bring his conversation, his thought process, his information to the table in terms of sharing experience with those who are considering SkillBridge or CSP as an opportunity during the transition from active duty to the civilian world, but equally because we do work very closely with veteran service brands. They have 4 organizations that they have within. So there's G-Force parking lot striping, Paint Core, which is residential and commercial painting, Mark One, which is the epoxy flooring brand, and Athletic Field Ops, which is the field marking striping company. And we do highlight that organization an awful lot. So we felt like it was really great to bring Chris in with us today to really just talk through the company as a whole. If you are not aware up until this point, Veteran Service Brands has franchise opportunities for veterans to be owner operators across one of those 4 brands. And so if entrepreneurship or being an entrepreneur is of interest to you at any point in your post-military journey, we would love to connect with you and have that conversation. We can tell you so much more and then make a very warm introduction to the organization. But that's enough from me. So Chris, why don't you tell us a quick, very succinct background of you and the military? Where did you come from?
Sure. So I did most of my time in the Marine Corps, transitioned from the Marine Corps to the Army, retired at the beginning of this month, September 30th, I retired. And I was able to start my internship in May of this year.
Oh my gosh, was it May? It feels like a lifetime ago. So tell me, because I know what, I mean, first and foremost, the question that people ask, like, why should I do a SkillBridge internship? What will it give me? What help will it give me? So what motivated you specifically to participate in the internship program initially? What was your thought process behind thinking, I'd really like to do that, not knowing what that was at the time?
Yeah, so I didn't know what CSP or SkillBridge was until we hosted a class, and some of my soldiers who were getting out were talking about it. I was like, I don't know what this thing is. Let me go to this class too. We'll see what's going on. Then I found out what it was, and I knew I wasn't going to miss that opportunity. I was like, there's no way that there's a program that will let me essentially leave the military up to 6 months early to work in a civilian job where I could potentially be offered a full-time position and be able to just transition smoothly and make sure my family's taken care of and have a job lined up like on day 1 after retirement. I was like, I'm not going to miss this chance.
And you didn't miss that chance.
No. So as soon as that class ended, I think I told pretty much my entire chain of command what I was going to do. Like, we got a new first sergeant, and I told her, right, in like probably our second conversation, I was like, hey, there's a SkillBridge thing. I don't know all the info on it yet, but I'm going to do it. I told my sergeant major, my COs, whoever it was, I was like, I'm going to do this thing. Just prepare yourselves now. I'm 2 years out. I'm going to do this thing. And, I was very fortunate because I had great support from them, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew what my intention was as soon as I found out about it.
So there's one thing having an intention. It's a very different thing securing an internship, especially when, like you didn't take part in an internship that was in the same location as your current assignment with the Army. So we connected. I presented an idea to you. You were like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I'm kind of interested. Talk us through, that element of it. Like, what made you think, yes, I do actually want to do this with G-Force? I like TJ. What was it that you could see in your future that you felt would be great for you?
So it is a completely different industry than what I was used to, right? Like, I was an intelligence analyst in the Army. So now I work in the construction industry. So I think the opportunity to just broaden my horizon was pretty interesting. And then doing the research on the company. I spoke to TJ here in Philadelphia. He connected me with Steve in Kansas City, who was only about an hour from me. And I was able to go out to a job site with him and, get eyes on what the full process was, how it all works. And I think that being able to see it in person was something that definitely influenced my decision to continue to pursue that.
Amazing. And so fast forward to now, what do you think the skills or experiences from your internship, well, which one specifically do you believe will be most valuable to you over the next few years? And we have talked and we've defined your internship as a success, but ultimately what defined it as a success for you?
So my degree is in business, and I'm contemplating getting an MBA. But the thing from this that has made it successful and will continue to be successful is the exposure that I got to the full cycle of running a business and everything that goes into it. I was able to get eyes on and hands on for like financial, for logistics, for supply, actual executions, operations, plannings, customer engagement, customer relations. I think my internship ran the gamut of a full business, like start to finish. And it didn't limit my exposure to just one part of the process.
It's quite the eye opener, isn't it?
Very much so.
Because there are so many elements that, if you're going into entrepreneurship, lots of people go, yeah, I'm going to do this. I know I can do it. I've got the ability. But until you get exposed, like you said, to all the different facets, you learn things that you would never even know to ask in the first place, because you didn't even know that element of being a business owner existed. So with that, we were talking earlier before you came on live. This company is a veteran-owned company. So talk us through just the transition for you in terms of going from the military into an organization, into a company that is populated with veterans.
Yeah, so you'll see a lot from when you're transitioning that people talk about, make sure you have a good support network. Make sure, all your network is there and you have the people you could talk to about certain things. With VSB, every owner is a veteran. So they've all been through a transition already. They're all already rooted in that community. So you have, or I specifically, I guess, have that new network of people who speak the same language as me, right? I didn't need to translate my whole life from military lingo to civilian talk, right? Like when you have that common ground and that commonality, it makes things go a bit easier. And I think it helps alleviate some of the stress that naturally comes with transitioning, right? Whether it was 4 years or 20 years, whatever it was, like that was your life for X amount of time. Yeah. Now you leave that and you go to this whole new world again. You got to find your balance in that. So being surrounded or being able to connect with so many veterans who have successfully transitioned already it's fantastic.
And when you say successfully, I mean, there's two meanings to that word. One is that they have actually transitioned and they are out the other side and they've got their, feet on the ground. They've made their roots outside of the military. But second of all, successful in terms of veteran service brands. The majority of owner operators there are terribly successful. So that must be hugely inspiring as well, to be around that experience, that level of success, and knowing that if that's where you want to go in the future, you've got that skill set and that support around you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What is it? It's just over 80 locations across the country. We have one in Hawaii, even at that. Like, it's not just CONUS. Yeah, over 80 locations across the country. Like, there's somebody somewhere that I could talk to, or that if someone is transitioning or has already transitioned and considering, an entrepreneurial background or something like that, like, there's somebody in that area that they could speak to.
See, it's very unlikely if you spoke to an ordinary civilian that they would understand what CONUS meant, but I would bet quite a few dollars that everybody here understands that acronym. Wonderful. And then finally, what goals or projects are you looking forward to tackling in your new role? You know, what is exciting to you?
So as the brand grows, so does kind of like the scope of work for all of it. There are some national accounts that the brand works with, some specific to Philadelphia that TJ and I are working with. We work with the Amazons, we work with Bank of America. Really, no jobs are too small and no jobs are too big. So I think the thing that excites me as we move forward is just the potential for growth, both personally, professionally, and with the business. Like it's all there and available for us to go get.
Yeah.
And it's just taking it. Sorry, it's just going out to get it.
Yeah. And I think what excites me and Amber is just seeing how happy you are, seeing that you're really established, that it's been a great move for you, that actually you utilized the SkillBridge program for an intent that a lot of people don't get the benefit of doing, which is to really pivot their careers and go from one area in the military to something completely different, you know, completely transforming your career and doing something that you've never done before. And to know that we have supported that success and to know that we have been able to facilitate that with you and on your behalf is, you know, ultimately why we are sat here today. So congratulations. We're so pleased for you and just really grateful to you for coming along. And for those, unfortunately, I can't help on the SkillBridge side right now. Jay, you're absolutely right. Chris is crushing it in every single way. But if the organization, if the company sounded of interest to you and you thought, I wouldn't mind being a part of that, we have a permanent job with them right now. So the permanent role is actually in the Baltimore area. So think very, very near to Aberdeen Proving Ground and Fort Meade. So that kind of area. The owner operators in that location, in that territory, they are actually looking for a business developer kind of slash project manager. It's a hybrid role. It would be ideal for either a veteran or a military spouse or a veteran spouse, because they are looking for somebody to really develop warm leads that are coming into the business. They don't have enough manpower right now to take every lead and to qualify it, identify whether it would be good for them and to close that deal. So they are looking for somebody with awesome leadership skills and experience, great relationship management qualities, a really wonderful way about them in terms of communication, tenacity, aptitude, and attitude to come in, join the team on a hybrid basis and really crush it, like Jay said, in terms of supporting that business for them. They currently sit within the G-Force parking lot striping and Mach 1 spaces, but as of 2025, they are opening up and setting up a paint core franchise within their territories as well. So that is in Baltimore. It's Baltimore hybrid, in and around Aberdeen Proving Ground, just north of Fort Meade. If you have any interest at all or want to have a conversation, either drop a comment below or connect with me through a DM here on LinkedIn, and I would love to have that conversation with you. Chris, before we move on, thank you again for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have a chat, and it was great to do it face to face with everybody listening in. So thank you so much, and we wish you all the very, very best.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Amber, we got some jobs to share.
We do.
So as we talk about our opportunities today, remember that we are only giving a wave top. It is very much a highlight reel of what we are working on right now. If you are looking for our exhaustive list of vacancies, please reference this above, hiremilitary.us, where you will go through to the careers page and you will see all of our SkillBridge internships and our permanent jobs that we are currently recruiting. Be aware of two things. First of all, if you see something that's of interest to you, don't delay. Submit an application as soon as you possibly can, because we do put roles up, but we equally take roles down on a daily basis. If our clients have told us that they've chosen a candidate or they do not need us to recruit anymore because they've got sufficient applications. So that's the first point. The second point feeds into that, the targeted application. always remember that regardless of the fact that you're submitting your resume to us as recruiters, first of all, not to the hiring company, you do need to make sure that we understand exactly why you would be a good fit for the role. You need to demonstrate your experience compared to and based on the job description. And if you are unsure what I mean there, if you're unsure what that is or even how to do that, on our website under the career resources section, and I think we might even have it in the event. I'm not 100% sure, but I will do a double check. We have a great article that we wrote about a year or so ago, which really teaches you not just what to do, well, not just that you have to target the resume, but how to do it. And it gives an indicative job description, an indicative resume, and really how to mesh the two together. So if you don't learn anything else today, every day should be a school day. Take a look at that. Just give a brief eyes over it just to see what we are talking about and how to maximize your chances of success. That's enough for me right now in terms of that. I'm going to go on quickly. So we have permanent roles working remote and in the DC metro area. They are audit manager and senior manager roles. These are working for one of the big four global consulting firms. If you're not aware of who those are or what they are, you may know the names: Deloitte, EY, KPMG, PwC. It's one of those. One of those has got the contract to deliver the Army Internal Audit Program. And as a result, they have asked us to find people with relevant skills and experience. So if you have any federal internal audit or federal finance experience, please do take a look at these job descriptions. There are qualifications in terms of experience, education. So you do need to have a bachelor's in either accounting, finance, management, computer studies, with either a financial certification or a PMP, or you can have a master's degree, so master's in accounting, master's of finance, or an MBA. You do need to have some relevant military experience as well, but the basic qualification there is 4 years. So if that sounds of interest to you, if you are looking for a remote role or a hybrid role out of the DC metro area, we are hiring both audit and senior audit managers. I mentioned the fantastic new role that I put up this morning with G-Force in the Baltimore area. That is a great position. It's business development, but it's not cold calling. It is qualifying warm leads. The business is coming in, they're asking questions, and you are running with it. You are also then moving on to project management of the business development process. So I've mentioned that one. I have one more to share today. If you know anybody, because I'm sure this person isn't watching, but I am looking for a range project officer to work at Hickam Air Force Base at the PACAF headquarters in Hawaii. This is what I need. I need a fighter jet pilot with combat threat experience who's worked in PACAF before, who's willing to move to Hawaii. That's what I need. So if you or anybody you know has those qualifications and that experience, please do connect with me. We have been recruiting, as has the company themselves, for a few months now. We just have not found that needle in the haystack, but we will. And it would be great if we could find them as a consequence of this live today. But for me right now, that is it in terms of the permanent positions. Like I said, this is a highlight reel. We have many others, so do take a look at hiremilitary.us. And Amber, I'm going to pass over to you.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to talk about SkillBridge CSP internships. So for those of you who might not know what SkillBridge CSP is, it is an internship program for transitioning service members. So if you are transitioning within the next year, 2 years, at your 180-day mark out from your separation, that is when you are eligible to participate in SkillBridge. Now, every branch and every command team has different timelines and what they'll let you participate, whether it's 90 days, 60 days. So you definitely want to start early, start having those conversations. You know, like Chris said earlier, you know, he started telling his leadership team immediately, I want to do this. I want to do this. So have those conversations, find out if you're eligible, when you're eligible. And take a look at our hiremilitary.us website. All of our internships are listed there. I'm only going to talk about some really new, exciting roles that we just got, but the rest of them are listed on our website. Additionally, if you find that there are no roles that align with what you want to do, but you have already started talking to a company who is interested in having you come on board as an intern, as you transition, but they are not approved by the DoD, you can absolutely reach out to us and we can help coordinate with that company to make sure that they are eligible under the higher military umbrella. So if you are interested in that, we have an intake form on our website, but you can also message Lucy or myself, and we'd be happy to share more information with you on how that process works. So let's see. So I have super exciting. Earlier, I advertised for DLA, Defense Logistics Agency. So we now have SkillBridge opportunities with them, and it is very exciting. So these opportunities are with the J8, the finance department. So they are looking for SkillBridge eligible interns to place into their roles. That will then lead to a GS civilian role once the internship is complete. So think of this as you are getting your foot in the door for a GS role that normally takes much longer to get into. So this is a really great way to get started. We have 5 new internships. So take a look at them on our website. There's business analysts. They're looking for financial analysts, financial liaison, accountants, and then accountants who specialize in accounting systems specifically. So with all of those roles, there are different requirements, minimal requirements for the analyst and liaison roles. However, for any of the accounting roles, they do require an accounting degree, or if you have a degree such as finance, public admin, or something similar, they will accept that as well, as long as it is supplemented by 24 semester hours in accounting. So you do have to come with some accounting experience for those 2 roles that we have listed. The rest, take a read through them. They're gonna consist of different things like managing, budgeting and looking at, the overall plan for this year, how they're implementing policies and strategies for the finance department. The locations for these, so there are 7 different locations. It depends on the job, so make sure you read the job description to see which ones it's eligible for. But we're looking at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio, Whitehall area, Battle Creek, Michigan, and San Antonio, Texas. So the preference is for the internship to be on site. However, they will make an adjustment for a remote internship for the absolute right candidate. You would have to come with the absolute best qualifications for them to do the remote internship. However, the full-time role will be on site. So you do have to be willing to move to one of those 7 locations for the on-site role. So if you're interested in any one of those, they're listed on our website. Please fill out send a targeted application, and then we'll reach out to you and schedule a screening and get you started in the process. And that is the exciting roles that I have today, Lucy. Those were the big ones that we wanted to announce just because they're brand new. So they haven't been up more than like a day, I think. So if you're interested, just let us know.
Amazing. Thank you so much. They are super exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing who we can support and who we can help, just like we did with Chris across those ones. As we close out today, let me tell you about another company that really wants to hire from within our veteran population, Acuity International. We've got multiple roles in Iraq and Somalia on our website that are specifically with them. So if you fancy a trip down range again for a year or a little bit longer, they are the company for you. They ensure and enable mission continuity and stability for government and enterprise organizations tackling some of the really, really hard projects on this earth. To that end, they endeavor to solve problems for people and organizations globally. They use human expertise accelerated by their technological elements, while building enduring relationships and providing secure, stable, and long-term predictable outcomes, hopefully predictable. They have asked us to highlight their recruiting efforts as well across some of their more military-affiliated vacancies. So we have those on our website. Think downrange, so they are Iraq, Somalia. Think canine handler, think firearms instructor, armorer, military healthcare. We have got roles across multiple facets of the military career experience. Take a look, and if you do have any questions at all, please do drop us a DM or send us a message via our website, and we would love to be able to answer any questions for you. We're at the 2:30 mark Eastern time, I should say. It's only 12:30 for Amber. It's definitely lunchtime and cup of coffee time, I think, right now. Amber, thank you for joining us today. Chris, in the background in the green room, thank you for being with us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's so lovely to have you here commenting in the chat so that we can see who's out there. We will be back again next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time for another session with us here at Higher Military on Hot Jobs. Take care. Bye-bye.